Hey there, and welcome back to MotorMinds, your go-to channel for smart, simple car tips that keep your ride running smooth and strong. If you've ever started your car and noticed white smoke coming from the exhaust, but then it goes away after a minute or two, don't worry, you're not the only one. It might seem scary at first, but in many cases, it's not a big deal. Still, it's important to know what's really going on under the hood. So today, we're breaking down 6 common causes of white smoke on startup and how you can fix them. Let's dive in. What does white smoke mean? All right, let's start with the basics. What does white smoke from your exhaust really mean? Most of the time, white smoke comes from water vapor or coolant burning inside your engine. If it's early morning or a cold day, that smoke could be completely normal. Your exhaust is just pushing out leftover moisture as steam. But if the smoke is thick, lasts too long, or has a sweet smell, that could mean a serious problem, like a coolant leak or a bad gasket. The big thing to watch is how long the smoke lasts. Let's take a closer look at the 6 most common reasons why this happens, and how you can fix it before it gets worse. Cause 1. Normal condensation. Let's start with the good news. This first cause is usually nothing to worry about. If you see white smoke just for a minute or two after starting your car, especially on a cold morning, it's probably just condensation. Here's what's happening. When your car sits overnight, moisture builds up inside the exhaust pipe. Then, when you start the engine, that heat turns the moisture into steam. That steam looks like white smoke, but it's completely normal. This kind of smoke is usually thin and wispy, goes away quickly, doesn't smell sweet or strange. What should you do? Nothing serious. Just let the engine warm up for a minute or two. There's no need to panic or run to a mechanic. Your car is doing just fine. Cause number 2. Coolant leak. Now let's talk about something a bit more serious. A coolant leak inside your engine. If your engine starts burning coolant, you'll usually see thicker white smoke coming from the exhaust. It might also have a sweet smell, and unlike normal steam, it doesn't disappear quickly. Here's what's going on. Coolant is leaking into the combustion chamber, where fuel and air are supposed to burn. Coolant isn't supposed to be there, and when it burns, it creates white smoke. This usually means there's damage somewhere, like a blown head gasket, a cracked engine block, or a warped or damaged cylinder head. These problems allow coolant to slip into the engine where it doesn't belong. Warning signs to watch for: thick white smoke that doesn't go away, a sweet smell from the exhaust, your engine starts overheating, and your coolant level keeps dropping. What should you do? Check your coolant tank. If it's going down fast, get your car checked right away. A mechanic can do a pressure test or a combustion leak test to find the problem. Don't ignore it. Driving like this can cause serious engine damage. Cause number 3. Bad head gasket. Now, here's one of the most common and serious reasons for white smoke: a blown head gasket. The head gasket sits right between the engine block and the cylinder head. Its job is super important. It keeps coolant, oil, and fuel separated inside the engine, so everything works smoothly. But if this gasket fails, coolant can leak right into the cylinders. And when you start your car, that coolant burns along with fuel, creating thick white smoke from your exhaust. Here's how you can tell if your head gasket is blown. White smoke that doesn't go away. Coolant level keeps dropping. Engine heats up too fast. Oil looks milky or frothy on the dipstick, bubbling in your radiator or overflow tank. What should you do? Honestly, this isn't a small fix. Replacing a head gasket takes time and skill, but the sooner you catch it, the better. Waiting too long can cause severe engine damage, and that can cost you thousands in repairs. So if you spot these signs, get your car checked immediately. Cause number 4. Leaking intake manifold gasket. Here's another part that can cause white smoke: the intake manifold gasket. This gasket seals the space between the intake manifold and the cylinder head. In some engines, coolant flows through this area to help keep things cool. But if the gasket wears out or breaks, coolant can leak into the intake. When that happens, the coolant gets sucked into the engine, burns with the fuel, and sends white smoke out the exhaust, especially during startup. Here are the signs to look out for. White smoke from the exhaust. Engine runs rough or misfires. Coolant level drops. Trouble starting in the morning. Coolant pooling near the intake manifold. What should you do? Check around the intake for signs of leaks. If you're unsure, a mechanic can run a dye test to find the leak. The good news? Replacing this gasket is usually cheaper than a head gasket, so fix it early and avoid bigger trouble later. Cause number 5. Faulty fuel injector. Yes, sometimes that white smoke you see might come from a bad fuel injector. This is more common in diesel engines, but it can happen in gas engines too. Here's how it works. The fuel injector's job is to spray fuel into the engine in just the right amount. But if the injector gets clogged, dirty, or stuck, the fuel mixture gets messed up. That can cause the engine to burn fuel the wrong way, and that may lead to white smoke, especially when you first start the car. Signs of a bad injector include white smoke at startup, poor fuel economy, engine knocking, rough idle or stalling. What should you do? Start by adding fuel injector cleaner to your gas tank. If the problem stays, you may need to replace the injector. It's usually cheaper than gasket repairs and can really improve how your engine runs. Cause number 6. Transmission fluid in the intake. This one's not super common, but it can happen, especially if you're driving an older automatic car with a vacuum modulator. In these cars, the transmission uses vacuum pressure to help shift gears smoothly. But if the vacuum modulator goes bad, it can let transmission fluid get pulled into the engine through the intake. That fluid burns inside the engine and turns into thick white or bluish smoke from the exhaust. Signs this might be the cause: white or blue-tinted smoke, a strange, burning chemical smell, hard or delayed gear shifts, transmission fluid level drops with no visible leak. What should you do? Check your transmission fluid level. If it's low and not leaking on the ground, the engine might be burning it. Ask a mechanic to inspect the vacuum lines and the modulator valve. Fixing it early can save your transmission and your engine. Bonus tip: pay attention to smell and smoke color. Here's a quick bonus tip. Don't just look at the smoke, smell it too. Different smoke colors and smells can tell you a lot about what's going on under the hood. Let's break it down. White smoke. That's usually water or coolant burning. Blue smoke? Your engine might be burning oil. Black smoke? That means your car is using too much fuel. Now for the smells. A sweet smell? Probably burning coolant. An oily smell? Might be engine oil. A strong fuel smell? Could be a fuel system issue. Use your eyes and nose like tools. They can give you clues before bigger problems happen. Paying attention now can save you a lot later. What should you do next? So, you saw white smoke on startup. What now? Here's a quick checklist. Is it just steam that goes away in a minute? You're probably fine. Is it thick and smells sweet? Check your coolant. Is the engine overheating or running rough? Look into gaskets. Any fluid levels dropping fast? Find the leak fast. Still unsure? Get a compression test, cooling system check, or diagnostic scan. Fixing a small issue now is always cheaper than replacing the engine later. Thanks for watching today's video on white smoke from your exhaust and what it really means. I hope this helped you spot the warning signs early and understand what could be going on inside your engine. If you learned something new or found this video helpful, go ahead and tap that like button. It really supports the channel. Got a question about your car or a story you want to share? Drop it in the comments below. I read them all and love hearing from you. And make sure to subscribe to MotorMinds for more easy-to-understand car tips, repairs, and maintenance advice. Also, check out our other videos to learn how to keep your car running smooth, strong, and smoke-free. Thanks again for tuning in, and as always, drive safe and stay smart out there.